said he changed people since they were.
City Council, come to order. Call the roll, please.
Rogers.
Here.
White.
Here.
Willman.
Here.
Ely. Here. Godwin.
Here.
Cole. Norris.
Here. Okay, let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Approval of the minutes. You should have received a copy of the minutes from last meeting. Any additions or corrections? If not, those will stand approved. Approval of the agenda. We do have one item under number 1, ordinance, to add. Does everyone have a copy of that, or do you?
No, I just made a copy for you.
Okay. There's one line under the supplemental for equipment maintenance. It's fire in the amount of $5,000. These funds are needed due to unexpected repairs needed for the Quince turbo and turbo actuator. And that's all we need to add.
You need a motion to accept the agenda as
Amended. Motion by Mr. Godwin to approve the agenda as amended. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Willman.
Yes.
Ely.
Yes.
Godwin.
Yes.
Norris.
Yes.
Okay, moving on, public hearing. Anyone wishing to address council? Mic's open.
Good evening, distinguished council members and Mr. Mayor. My name is Matt Guyette. I addressed the body a few weeks ago along with my brother regarding the TNR program here in Greenville. And there seemed to be some confusion about whether the Humane Society still had funds or not. They've been telling my brother that there are no funds left. They've all been exhausted. There's no money to spay and neuter cats. We addressed council, and there seemed to be a thought that there was still money. It might have been in a different account, or it may not have been released yet. So we left, and my brother has gone back to the Humane Society several times. They have reiterated that there is no money. The money is exhausted. They have no more money left to spay and neuter cats. And as, I don't know if any of you, those of you who live downtown know that it's really a problem. The town is really being overrun by stray cats. My brother and some other people are willing to do the legwork of capturing the stray cats and in some cases nursing them because they're injured or they have infections. And he's trying to be proactive about the problem because unless we spay and neuter these cats, they're just going to keep reproducing. The problem's going to get worse. And it doesn't help anybody. It's a quality of life issue for downtown Greenville. And I think sometimes people look at him as the problem because he is taking care of the cats and they think he's attracting them or trying to bring them in. He's not. He's just trying to treat the cats that are already here in a humane manner. He feeds them. He uses his own money to nurse them or take them to the vet. But obviously we need to deal with the problem. And so I'm back to see if there's any way some additional funds can be located or if what we can do. Because the last time he went to the Humane Society, they were a little put out with him and they said he was not allowed to bring cats there anymore, that they were the only ones who were allowed to capture them and they no longer would accept his cats for TNR. I think they were a little annoyed about the way this is all playing out and that there's some attention being paid to it. But I'm just trying to find a solution to the problem. He's willing to do most of it, along with some other people here in Greenville, but we need help with that component because it's beyond his means to pay out of his own pocket to spay and neuter those cats. So that's what I came here tonight to address council. So thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Can I comment one thing on what you talked about?
Yeah, of course. Can I sit down or do you want me to?
No, it don't matter. But they had I talked to Lori, which is the lady that runs the Humane Society, and what happens is that people will bring cats out there, and they'll say they're from Greenville, but they're not from Greenville, or they'll say that, you know, I've caught this cat, and it's their own personal cat.
Yeah, of course.
And, you know, they're trying to use the Humane Society or that money that we have for the TNR program to take care of their own personal cats. And I know that I seen something on the website the other day. I think they're having a spade and neuter thing here coming up that you have to sign up for or whatever, and I guess they're gonna do a bunch of cats that day. But I don't remember what day it was.
Yeah, I know there's a truck that comes to Greenville and sometimes parks at Paws Bingo.
Yeah.
And they'll do like one cat, and you have to register a month in advance, and it's a very, it's for people who are maybe low income and have one cat and need help with that one cat. But as far as the Humane Society, they have a relationship with my brother. He's been working with them and taking cats there for quite a while. So I don't think the concern in that case is that he's bringing in cats from somewhere else. It's just, they seem to be caught between a rock and a hard place where maybe they're trying to help, but they don't have the funds. So,
Yeah, I know there was like $1,500 left or something the last time we
yeah.
talked.
They claim that there's no money left. So I know one of the people that addressed last time, Ron Asman, captures cats and he collects them and he takes them to Columbus, because apparently there's some place in Columbus that will do a whole bunch of them if you bring them there. But my brother's not equipped to do that. So, but we have some good people in Greenville that are just trying to address the problem. But we need some help from council and from the city. So I hope we can find a solution to it.
Mr. Guyette, we've talked about the issue with the Humane Society and with the city.
Okay.
But when your brother was here, when we talked about it in a larger scope,
Sure.
what we're talking about at this point is almost like trying to put out a fire with a squirt gun, because the magnitude of the problem with the cats in the city of Greenville, if his numbers were anywhere near correct when he was here before, was like $150,000 or $180,000 problem. So the reality of putting forward that much money, because it's not going to stop. If we don't completely stop it, or not we, if we as a unit don't bring it to a complete stop, it just continues to grow. The problem continues to grow. And I think as we talk about the money with the Humane Society, you know, we've got a much bigger issue here that somehow needs to be addressed. And I'm not even sure how to address it, because I know that the city's not in a position to write a check for $150,000 to $200,000 to neuter cats.
Yeah, I would question those numbers.
Those were
I
his
don't think
numbers.
that's accurate.
But those were his numbers.
No, those were, I think your numbers, you were extrapolating the numbers that he was catching.
That's
and
right.
Figuring so many cats have so many offspring, and if you do all the math, you came up with that number by extrapolating. But that's not what we're asking council for, and I don't think that's realistic. I think it's kind of like weeding a garden. If you stay on top of it and you keep at it, it becomes manageable. But if it gets let go, then it becomes more of a problem. But I don't think it's anywhere near $180,000. I mean, that's sort of like a slippery slope and saying, well, we can't do anything because the problem's too big.
No, I'm not saying.
I think it's
I'm not saying-
addressable.
I'm saying that if we try to address it through a $4,000 annual contribution from the city and a $4,000 contribution from the Humane Society or whatever, that $8,000 a year is not,
Right.
it's not going to come close to addressing it.
But I would ask that you don't let the perfect prevent the possible. You know, he was addressing the problem, he was making it better along with other people, and he just needs a little help to get it back on track. We're not looking to eradicate the feral cat population in Greenville. We're just trying to make it better for people who live here and for the cats.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address council?
Okay, first of all, I used to help the Humane Society when they did that thing once a month. And what they do is you have to go out there a month in advance. You have to sit there for hours just to get an application, and only so many people are issued those applications. You can bring in 2 cats. They do 15 males and 15 females. And you pay for it. It's not a free thing, and because I had my cat done through that, and I think I paid $60 or $70 to have it done. And so they do have that. Then they do their own cats that they have there at the Humane Society. But I was working at CAP on Friday, and I ran into another lady who's taking care of cats in this community. She told me she had 30-some. And I know Ron, and I know Shelley, and I know Jackie Dawson, and these people have stepped up. And she admitted that she's putting this money out of her own pocket for the feed, for the taking care of them. I was amazed. I had never met this lady, but then after she told me her name, then I remember reading it on Facebook. So there is a lot of people in this community stepping up, trying to do their best to get this under control. So I wanted to address that after you brought that up. The other thing I'm here for, I'm not picking on anybody, but we have a city park. Now, please don't tell me to take it to the park board, because I go to the park board meetings. I went down there the other day with a friend, and it saddens me to walk around that park. I could almost cry now, because I moved to my house over 40 years ago because of that park. And now you walk around, you have broken slides. There was a friend who lives closer to the park than I do. She was down there one day, and a child came down the swirly slide, and he had a cut on his arm. There was a piece of metal up there that he cut his arm on, and he was bleeding. But we looked at the seesaws. One is missing completely. There's a piece of metal sticking up there. One of the handles is broken on the other one, and I watched a child trying to play holding on to the side. And I was like, oh my goodness. There's another slide that had a crack in it 5 years ago. And I brought it to their attention, and it was about 1 inch, and now it's about 6 inches. And I think what's happening as the kids come down, they're grabbing the outer edge of it, and they're putting their strength on it, and now it's splitting apart. Some child's going to get hurt on that. They have 2 rubber tires down there from tractors. If you do research on rubber, you'll find out that schools no longer are putting it on their playground. For one thing, there's pieces of metal in it, so they don't use it as mulch anymore because of the metal being steel belted. And then when the tires get hot, they put out a gas. And I was talking to, you want to learn something about things, you talk to the people who go down there. So I have, and I've had a number of people say, we won't go back. The park is dirty. It needs painting really, really bad. Some of that stuff hasn't been painted in years. I don't know why you can't bring over the art department from the school and maybe have a day of painting those equipment, because they're terrible. Somebody brought to my attention the picnic tables, bad shape. I heard they used to be done every other year. I don't even know when they were done, because all that stuff is peeling off. But here's what's really breaking my heart. When I was at the last walk around, it was stated they want to take out the baby pool. Now, any of you who have grown up in this area, back in the 50s, as a child, you played in that baby pool. It had a swan in the center of it, and water came out of its mouth. And I'm in the process of possibly locating that swan. I've been told it still may exist. But I was told at that meeting that's going to be taken out. That's a part of the history of the park. Why don't you leave it there? Let there be something left of that, the original part of that park. They're going to tear down the 2 cement block houses. Those are older buildings. They survived the tornado. A wooden building got knocked down, but the cement block buildings withstood it. So when I was at this meeting, I suggested or asked permission, why don't we build a little log cabin for children to play in? That it would be so typical of the age of that park. And they have something similar over in Winchester. A very nice little building. Kids could go and play in it. If you know kids, they love to play store, school, church, or whatever inside of a little building. And I just read the other day that up to the age of 6, a child does most of their learning up to that point. And so I thought, wouldn't it be perfect that in the center of that, where that baby pool is, to put a little log cabin? You might even want to build a little fort for the children to play in. But I got told, oh, the homeless will move in there. Well, are we going to build things or not build things or have things because of the homeless? I mean, we can't have our city that way. If you're going to do that, you're going to have to take out all the park benches. Why did we build a covered bridge just recently? The homeless are going to move into that. So why am I being told no? Because I said, I'll fund some of this. But no, but the homeless can move in there. And I'm thinking, you could do so much down there. You could take volunteers that'll help you paint. But of course, I've been told no to that. So I guess my main suggestion here is, please don't let them take that pool out. And that's right there behind the roundhouse, because that is a part of the old park. And I ask that somebody on council attend those park board meetings, because when I go, I am the only one there. And if you go in and you read the minutes, they don't say anything about what was discussed. And I think that is not right, because a lot was discussed at that meeting in October. And when I went and read the minutes, most of it's not there. So I want somebody to help back me up on what I'm hearing, what I'm being told. Several years ago, when they had a park, it was a disaster. It's become a disaster since they disbanded the employees. That's where this problem started, because the street department can't keep up with it anymore. And so something's being put on hold, something's being pushed back down the ladder. So when they no longer have the employees, well, of course they can't keep up with it. So I don't blame the park board itself, but something has to be done, because that park is shameful. When my friend and I went down there, she couldn't believe it. I said, until you start walking around and looking at things and pointing out things, then you start to see the problems that are going on. So maybe somebody on council can either get involved in it somehow, so that way they can see what's going on and what's being said. But I guess my main concern right now is, please don't take that baby pool out. Leave that and let us develop it. Let's do something with it. Right now, it is full of sand. But what if we put dirt and gravel in there? And I'm still saying, you could put a little building in there and the children can play in it. It would be such an attraction, especially with the 250th anniversary coming up. What a way to get kids back to that park, and that they would start to play with it again. So that is my concern tonight, so I thank you.
Did you address the park board with
Yes,
their
I did.
concerns about the slide and stuff?
Yes,
What was their comment?
it happened during the tornado.
Good evening. I just want to go over a quick few things here. We've had some people calling about shots fired on the south end of town over the last few days. That's us. We're doing training out off of 121 at our range. So that's going on. It's been going on. It's going to be going on for the next few nights. We do this once a year, and it takes about a week or so to get everybody through the training. So that's what that is. The horse parade's coming up Saturday. It's kind of snuck up on us here. We will have a booth near the courthouse, just like we did last year, just so that people know if a kid goes missing, or sometimes we have stuff like that. A parent turns around and the kid walks away. We will be at the courthouse, so you can find us easily. There'll be officers up and down Broadway, and they'll be wearing a reflective vest. But if you can't find one, we will be at the courthouse. The last thing is Shop with a Cop. It's December 6th at 9 a.m. We cut it back just a little bit this year. We're going to be shopping for 60 kids. So that will be 9 a.m. on the 6th. I spent the last couple of days calling all 60 kids, and believe we've made contact with just about all of them. So we're looking forward to that. And if you guys are out and about, feel free to stop by and see
Where's
us.
that going to be, or where's that going to be at 9?
That's at Walmart. We'll have a booth inside there at Walmart,
Thank you.
December 6th. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want your volunteers just to show up at Walmart?
Yeah, just show up there. Be perfect.
All right.
Are you gonna be there in the morning?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll hold you to it.
I'll come out and help you, Dolores.
Anyone else?
All right. Good job.
Hello, my name is Ryan. I was here a couple of weeks ago, and I just came to follow up. I had talked a little bit about House Bill 249, and I think it was apparent that everybody did not have information about it. So I sent that email to everybody on council just to kind of discuss, to make sure that you were aware of the bill and kind of what our concerns were. I had a brief conversation with Mr. Norris just a little bit ago, and really just about kind of what are the next steps. I think just to reiterate, I think, there are some good things about protecting everyone, but I also think the kind of main concerns are the difference between the language of the bill and also how the proponents intend to leverage the bill. Per their statements, I think that raised some concerns for us. Also, the piece about, some reiteration of negativity towards transgender and intersex people that we have a concern about, and the part about mandating clothing for people based on their bodies. So I think those are still kind of the concerns that we have, and looking for some guidance from council, really in terms of whether or not the city would be, in fact, leveraging it the way that the proponents of the bill are wanting it to be leveraged. Just so that we can have some clarity. I think there's a lot of confusion. There was a great article, again, Mr. Mayor, I actually have no ill will towards you. And we're standing 2-3 feet apart. I think it's okay. I believe in a community where people can have dialogue and can come together and learn new things. But I think that's really what we're seeking, is some guidance so that people are on the same page and understand, there are probably some good things in every law, but there are some bad things, and being able to address those. So, I think I understand from Mr. Norris that a possible next step is maybe you all having more time to review that information and to see what is the way that the city intends to view that bill. Or if you have any other guidance for me today, I would love to be able to take that back to folks.
Yeah, I think that's, fair to provide some more time. I think one of the other important things to remember in these House bills or Senate bills is what we're talking about is just a bill, and it hasn't been passed or enacted into law. And so any enforcement or potential enforcement is all speculative at this stage. And so, there's hundreds and hundreds of bills that never make it out anywhere. And so part of it is somewhat premature to talk about enforcement when we don't even know if it's going to get passed.
Sure. And I guess I would just say the fear level about how it could be or how it's intended to be used is what we're trying to address. So, but I appreciate that. So is it fair to say that my next step would be to maybe follow up with Mr. Norris, or what would be the best next step for us to kind of get to some clarity? Or
What exactly are you looking for from us?
I think we really do want to know that piece, some clarity about how the city views it, because I think that is the concern, is whether or not the city would intend to arrest people for what they're wearing, whether or not the city would intend to file charges against the Pink Mile Men or Dark County Pride. I think those are the real issues that have real impacts that we're concerned about.
Yeah, and I don't want to speak for Chief Benji, but obviously in a small community with limited resources with law enforcement that we have, I don't think that this would be at the top of Chief Benji's policing lists as we're dealing with other things, crime in the city and things that are going on.
I think that's a fair place to start. Okay, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for sending that information out.
Sure.
I have a question. This is about the same topic Ryan was discussing. My fear is that we're kind of talking past each other on this. I know there's concerns about lewdness and obscenity, and those are things that are mentioned in the legislation as well as in the mayor's letter supporting it. I'm not in favor of lewdness or obscenity in front of children or in front of the public. I don't think any of us are. But I think there's a fear that that is going to be used as a pretext to go after people based on something else. And I guess my question is, doesn't Greenville have ordinances about lewdness and obscenity, about public indecency? Don't we have those kind of ordinances already on the books that would apply to just about everybody? They could be enforced without the need for legislation that specifically targets one community. I guess that's what I'm wondering. Like, are we reinventing the wheel here? Can't we all, if somebody is out in the middle of Broadway and it's offensive and it's obscene, I would think we would already be able to address that. You, or Mike, or Ryan?
I mean, we certainly have indecent exposure
Yeah.
statutes and plenty of things.
On the books, and they're enforceable, right?
And they have been enforced, yes.
Yeah, so, okay, thank you. I just wanted to raise that as a point. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address council? If not, we're going to move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Council President. Good evening, everyone. I want to, first of all, give thanks to the street department for their outstanding work downtown and putting up the Christmas decorations. Sorry about that. Putting up the Christmas decorations and setting up the community Christmas tree that will be lit this Saturday evening, following the holiday horse parade and the lighted truck and tractor parade, which begins at 7 o'clock. And I want to also congratulate City Auditor Kim Davis and her entire staff upon receiving the Auditor of State Award for their clean audit report and meeting specific criteria during their financial audit. So, way to go. With that, I pass.
Thank you. Moving on, Safety Service Director, Mr. Delk.
Thank you, Mr. President. A few things for this evening. Congratulations, Ms. Davis, Auditor. I know it's a really big deal for your staff. And as you read through that report, there's not too many cities in our area that receive that. So that's a really big deal. I'd also like to congratulate our transit department tonight. So they have recently went through their annual ODOT risk assessment audit and received a final score of a 1, and the goal is the lower the score, the better. Last year, we were at a 16, so a 16 is a medium risk. 1 is obviously a low risk, and at the very low end of it, so they worked really hard to get that risk assessment down. And what that does, ODOT does this annually, and that's part of our, if you're not following all these guidelines when you apply for grants through ODOT or through the federal government, that's one of the things they look at, is that you're spending their money that they're providing through a grant wisely. So congratulations to them, and I thank them for working so hard to lower that number. I'd like to recognize police and fire department tonight. If people didn't hear, there was a missing individual Saturday morning, an elderly gentleman that came up missing from Owens Trailer Court, and their quick and speedy response, they were able to find him and unharmed and get him back safely to his family. A little bit of bad news for this evening. Our closed landfill, so we're currently in our 30-year post-closure. We are required to do groundwater monitoring and methane gas monitoring. Methane gas monitoring is going to be here for a while just because of it being a previous landfill and the methane being there for a while. We've been working the last 2 years with the EPA to get relieved of our groundwater monitoring for the closed landfill. We thought we were there. We just found out last week that they're going to require another year. We're hopeful that once we get through this year that we can get out of the ground monitoring, just for the added expense of what it costs to constantly monitor and do those reports and work with our consultant. But wanted to update council on that. I know Mr. Rogers asked about code enforcement last week, a list. So we were able to populate a list. I don't know if Jesse got it out to you guys today or not, but open and closed cases. So currently there's like 166, I think, closed and 88 open. If it's all right with council, told Chad, our code enforcement, to get me that quarterly, and then I'll send out to council, and that way you guys can see where everything is with code enforcement.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I wanted to update, the street department planted, I think it was 25 trees out in the park from the tornado and the donations received through Zeckers and the YOLO organization. They have an additional 15 ordered that they're waiting on. Most of those are primarily oaks, and they don't dig the oaks until after this, in the November timeframe. So we're waiting on those to get dug at Browns, and then they'll get those planted. And all the trees in this first phase were kind of around the pool, band shell parking lot area. And so we'll break it up into 5 phases, and we'll plant 30 to 40 trees a year for the next 5 years in different clusters around the park to get back from the tornado. Solids handling is going well. Concrete is complete. They're starting to build the structures. So that was a big step to get out of the concrete phase. Water tower, not a whole lot of movement there. Still waiting on the foundation to set so we can start getting more materials in here and keep that one moving. And then just an update on the water line projects. The contractor's planning on starting up in the Marion Chippewa area on that water line project, and they're looking at the week of December the 8th. A little bit more positive, in my opinion, tonight at Planning Commission. The commission approved a final development plan for 7 Brew Coffee. So 7 Brew Coffee is going to go in at the old Bob Evans, which is now an urgent care. They're going to tear down that urgent care and put in a 7 Brew Coffee. Never had it personally, but I've heard a lot of great things about 7 Brew. So another business and another building that I wouldn't call it dilapidated, but it's showed its age. So it's nice to get a new business and a fresh face in there. And with that, I will answer any questions, but I will pass.
That's just a drive-through, right?
Drive-through only, yes.
I heard that there was something else moved into the old Marsh building too, small manufacturing of bamboo socks.
Yes, sir. It's been there for a few months. What is the name of that place, Mayor?
Yeah, EcoSox.
EcoSox, yes.
They sell online as well. They manufacture a lot of socks. Their equipment is brand new, and they're going to have a little bit of a storefront in the front of it too. But that was a nice find, actually, by Mr. Baumgartner. He just happened to run into him when the guy was out looking for a location, and he saw the building was kind of, wasn't it like a Sunday?
Yeah.
And John said, he saw this guy looking in the window, and John goes, "What are you doing in my building?" He goes, "Well, I'm actually looking to move in here, looking for a site." So John worked with him and with some help, I suppose, economic development, but John was the force that drove that project. And it's a great location, great family running it. And again, you can EcoSox, ECOSOX. And I have a pair. They're very comfortable, and they're therapeutic socks made out of bamboo product. So interesting.
They sell them locally here at Medicine and More as well.
And which building was this at?
It's part of the Marsh, but it's where Rite Aid used to be. Like
Okay.
that little section kind of between Marsh and
All right. I thought that's what you were talking about. I just.
My County Link, I think. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Still passing.
All right. Mr. Dillon, a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Comments. Water tower and sewer plant targeted completion dates are still what?
Solids handling, substantial completion should be September of 2026 is what we're on target for. We should be pressing material late May, but then there'll just be a lot of finalization to do. Water tower, they're saying 18 months, so substantial completion is going to be early 2027.
It won't be operational until 2027.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. Whatever happened with the firehouse new $50,000 doors?
Whatever happened.
Did they ever get installed?
Yeah. Glass doors?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It didn't look any different than the old ones.
You can see through them, the glass.
Okay.
I guess that's a good thing. I don't know. Maybe it's not a good thing.
No, I just didn't,
Yeah, they were
homeless
probably
situation.
over a year ago.
We haven't talked about it in over a month. Resolved, all taken care of, no longer an issue, or?
Currently, and maybe Chief Benji could even speak on this better than I, we don't have an issue going on downtown. My understanding is, I believe Community Action helped that gentleman get some temporary housing, and they're working on getting some permanent housing for one of the main ones that was up there. I haven't seen any around town or have any complaints from them.
And it tends to be a little cyclical with the weather. The colder it gets, the less that you tend to see them in more public spaces. That's when we generally have more issues under bridges and that kind of thing.
Okay. Last but not least, thank you for the trim work on the tree at the Magnolia Street sign.
Oh.
The problem is, it's now more visible that the leaves are gone. But I think we're going to be right back into it as we go into next year, because the one tree that's under the sign was trimmed down so that you can see over the top, you can see the sign over the top of it. But as you're coming up the road, the one,
Like before the
next
sign.
one south of there blocks it until you're up on it. And I guess that's really going to be an issue almost for all of them through that strip eventually.
Yeah.
Because you put the trees and the signs all on the same side.
Well, I will start with, they're not our trees. They're not city trees. They're the homeowners' trees. But I don't think the homeowners want them, so we've kind of
Who
gotten.
put them in?
City.
Okay.
They're not our trees. We gave them to the homeowners
Yeah,
many years
that's-
ago.
I've been involved in one of those before. I don't think we want to have that discussion. It's still our problem with signs.
Absolutely.
So do we consider moving the signs to the east side of Broadway?
We could look at it.
I mean, that's
If
just-
there's a post there, yeah.
I think it's inevitably going to be a continuing issue.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to react before we have to react, or act before we have to react.
I'll check into it for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Still passing?
Yes.
Moving on, Law Director, Mr. Reaman.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Council President. Just a couple quick things. One, to piggyback on the Planning Commission, I think another exciting development that we had is the expansion of Spear Medical Center. They're going to put in another building at that, and we like to see that kind of development on the south town, side of town, as Dolores was there. We're excited about that, and so that's a good thing. And then I'll just speak briefly, the one piece of legislation that's there tonight is to create a new fund for the police department. We're already getting continuing education funds. The auditor just asked that we segregate them, so that's just creating a new fund for that. If that'll answer any questions that anybody has.
All right, thank you. Moving on, Auditor, Mrs. Davis.
Thank you, Mr. President. First of all, I want to thank my staff for their hard work and the departments and administration for all their support and us getting that rating from the auditor of state. And secondly, I want to inform everyone that the payoff of the fire truck and the front loader has been completed. Both of those are paid. Those debts have been paid in full. Then the supplemental, I just wanted to make everyone aware is that the donation from Secretary Bailey Funeral Home, that $2,500 was a donation from them, and it is for the Shop for the Cop event, so that needs to be appropriated for that reason. Then otherwise, there's some various salary lines that need appropriated due to some sick and vacation payoffs. And then the water tower is just like we've had before. Well, this is the water tower, excuse me. That is for cash flow so that we can make the payments and get the reimbursements. The fund didn't have any monies appropriated in that line in order to go forward with some of those payments. And then the last thing would be the wastewater treatment plant upgrades. Those are still just in and outs, just like we've done all along. And those will continue to happen, and they will start also happening with the water tower. And I'll take any questions other than that.
Ms.
Yes.
Davis.
Yeah.
Ms. Davis. So we'll just keep transferring money until we get to the point of making the loans.
Correct.
And
So,
then it'll balance itself back out.
yes,
Okay.
that's correct.
You had said we were adding a line item for, never mind, I'll come to that later. Income tax,
Yes.
biggest drop over year so far this year.
Yes, sir. it
What
was.
happened in October? What was the driver?
I don't believe that there's really one specific thing. It was lower. I did have a long conversation, as Ryan and Mike have as well. What the income tax administrator advised me of was that the withholdings are still strong, which is where we get the bulk of our money, and that it must have been in the other return parts, not in the withholdings. The withholdings, we get about 80% of our income from that, and those are still strong. The final business returns and the estimated are where he felt that that's where we had the downfall on the deposits for the year, for the month of October.
And for the people that aren't looking at the report in the audience, we dropped basically about 12%, 12.3% below where we were last year,
Correct.
October to October.
Correct.
Which put us on a year-to-date at about 3.2% lower than what we were last year at this time.
Yes, and we are planning for that as we plan for the budget of
So
2026.
do we expect a continuing drop in November and December?
He has not, since with the month end, with the 15th being on a Saturday, we had a discussion today, but those items are not posted, so we don't have a clear picture of that as of today yet. Because of the 15th being on a Saturday, we didn't receive them until Monday, and they were still posting them today, and so probably won't really have a clearer picture until further down the week.
And thank you. And again, to put my concern in perspective, if we look at year-over-year comparisons, you know, from 2023 to 2024, we went down almost 20% in income tax. This year, we're currently down 3% over last year. So if we hold tight from here the rest of the year, you know, that's like a 23 to 25% drop from 2023. It would still be lower than 2022 and back between where we were in 2021 and 2022. So, you know, as we talk about the things we need to do, that has to be a point of concern, that while costs continue to rise, our revenue stream continues to fall. That's the only reason I bring it up. Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, we will move on to committee reports. We have one scheduled tonight from the ad hoc committee.
Honorable members of council, the ad hoc committee hereby submits our report. The ad hoc committee met on September 10th, October 10th, and November 7th to review the comprehensive plan. The ad hoc committee recommends that the City of Greenville Comprehensive Plan 2025 is to stand as developed to be used as an effective tool for submission of grant applications and to draw future business development and employment opportunities to the City of Greenville. The ad hoc committee recommends that the comprehensive plan be reviewed every 5 years. The ad hoc committee further requests that the council president, with approval of the council members, form a community committee which would include members of the city council, the city administration, private citizens, and local business leaders to develop action plans to meet the challenges facing our aging community. Respectfully submitted, the ad hoc committee, Dolores Ely, Chairwoman, Greg White, Vice Chairman, and Clarence Godwin, Member.
Move to accept the committee's report.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to accept the committee report. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to ordinances and resolutions. We have 4 to consider for this evening. The first is a supplemental ordinance.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Greenville, State of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. The supplemental ordinance allows for appropriations in the general water, sewage disposal, street, water capital improvement, and wastewater capital improvement funds, and the sum as follows. Crime prevention, police, in the amount of $2,500. These funds need appropriated due to a donation given to the city by Zecker Bailey Funeral Home for the Shop with a Cop event. Equipment maintenance, fire, in the amount of $5,000. These funds are needed due to the unexpected repairs needed for the Quint 172's turbo and turbo actuator. Salaries department head in the amount of $3,525. Salaries utilities in the amount of $200. Salaries department head in the amount of $1,675, and salaries utilities in the amount of $1,050. These funds need appropriated for vacation and sick leave cash-in. Salary safety service director in the amount of $1,160. These funds need appropriated due to an error in the calculation in the original budget. Utilities traffic control in the amount of $1,600. These funds need appropriated due to the utility billing for traffic control. Water Tower East/Industrial Park in the amount of $2 million. These funds need appropriated for the Water Tower East project in the industrial park. And wastewater treatment plant solids handling improvements in the amount of $2,093,407.14. These funds need appropriated for the wastewater treatment plant solids handling project. These funds need posted as the payments were made on behalf of the city and need reimbursed.
Motion to suspend the rules on this ordinance and read it by title only, second and third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025. An ordinance to make additional appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Greenville, state of Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
Move to adopt the ordinance?
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President,
Yes.
Ms. Davis,
Yes.
the add-in for the $5,000 for the fire truck repair,
Yes.
is this the second $5,000 that we've done for
It
the fire
is.
department?
So this truck is broken down.
No, okay, but
Yeah.
this is the
It's the
second,
same truck.
the
Yes, it
second
is the
budget
second
overrun that
budgeted over.
we're.
That is
And have they spent all their money already?
Yes, so what this would do this would leave them for the remainder of the year, I think a balance of, I think I wrote it down, a very small balance for the remainder of the year. And if those funds were not used for maintenance, the funding would just go back to the general fund. So it's less than 5,000, like 4,000 or 6,000.
And this is coming from the general fund to the fire department?
Correct, for the repair of the fire truck,
Because I think if I remember right, last year we gave an extra $30,000
for repairs.
for repairs. And I think we budgeted the same or more this year than we had budgeted last
I
year.
think the same.
Okay.
But yes, I mean, this is what happens when we budget so close and the equipment breaks down and we have to come to council and ask for extra funds in order to repair it.
Okay, I'll leave it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What's the age of that Quint?
It's a 19, it's had a little bit of a.
2011.
What is it, 2011?
2011. 11.
Is that one they're changing or?
No, that's 30-year life expectancy is what we try to get out of fire truck.
Yeah.
But it's the first out the door, every time as well.
Yeah, I've seen it out a lot.
Also, it was involved in an accident, which some of that appropriation was for as well, for the deductible.
That was two different appropriations, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's had to.
Right.
Further discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Okay, next we have a transfer ordinance.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. This transfer ordinance allows for transfers in the general fund and the sum as follows. $2,300 from office supplies police to travel and education police. This transfer is needed for a sick leave/vacation cash-in. $2,007 from salaries fire to salaries department head. This transfer is needed for sick leave/vacation cash-in.
Move to suspend the rules and give this second and third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Willman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville. An ordinance for the transfer of funds among the appropriations of the various funds of the city of Greenville.
Motion to adopt?
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President, Ms. Davis,
Yes.
the transfer under the police
Yes.
from office supplies to travel and education
Yes.
for vacation buyout?
No, that transfer's not for vacation buyout. That
I thought
transfer
that's what she
is,
said. Okay.
that is what she said, yes. I did not catch that on the agenda. but that is what was probably typed on there, because that's for the second transfer, and that is what was typed on there, and I didn't catch that when we did the agenda. Just a minute, and I will find it. I have the backup here. So the $2,300 is moved from office supplies to travel and education is for PELC training. So that's to finish, that's training that our officers are taking, well, I guess our administration is taking for, because I think Monin just graduated, right? Pete? Yeah. This one's for Boyer? Yeah, so both of the lieutenants have been taking it.
I was confused with,
Yeah, I can see why, because that was incorrect.
and the second part of that question is saying that these appropriations are from the Waterworks System Revenue Fund? Is the source?
It's just a typo. Yeah, on the ordinance itself. It's not, it should be general. That'll get changed prior to signing.
Okay, but those are just transfers then?
Those are only transfers. That is not new money or any money taken from
And
the.
it's not
budget.
coming out of the Waterworks, okay?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Further discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Okay, number 3, we have a resolution authorizing a then and now certificate.
A resolution authorizing a then and now certificate for Landmark Structures ILP. This resolution authorizes a then and now certificate for the Landmark Structures ILP invoice in the amount of $718,851.20.
Motion to suspend the rules on this resolution and read it by title only, second, third time.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to suspend the rules, give this resolution second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
A resolution authorizing a then and now certificate for Landmark Structures ILP. A resolution authorizing a then and now certificate for Landmark Structures ILP.
Move to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adopt the resolution. Discussion?
Mr. President, Ms. Davis,
Yes.
I always struggle with the then and now, but
That's okay.
the then and now for $718,000.
So it's a payment on the project, and the invoice is dated prior to the purchase order. It just happened that way because of the contractor and how the invoice fell, and we were unable to get the purchase order in. This is just merely giving that permission to make this payment.
So it's the quote, then their invoice, and then the contract?
I'm not sure if we.
So the problem is, in like solids handling, we had the OWDA loan, and then the water tower, we have the OWDA loan. Well, in between the solids handling and the water tower, OWDA used to pay the contractor directly on our behalf, and that's when we would have these switches. Well, because of fraud, they, on this project, decided to move it where they pay us, and then we have to pay the contractor. So I was expecting them to pay the contractor. They said, no, we'll pay you, then you pay the contractor, so we're behind the 8 ball.
So they sent the invoice to us, you were expecting them to pay it
On our behalf.
on our behalf, and then the purchase order came afterwards?
Yes.
Clear as mud, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay,
Muddy water.
Thank you.
yeah.
Yes.
Further discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
Okay, number 4, we have an ordinance establishing PD continuing training fund.
An ordinance to establish a police department continuing professional training fund. This ordinance establishes a police department continuing professional training fund as advised by the Ohio Auditor to cover costs associated with developing, delivering, or attending training for appointed peace officers.
Move to suspend the rules, give this ordinance second, third reading by title only.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to suspend the rules, give this ordinance a second, third reading by title only. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
An ordinance to establish a police department continuing professional training fund. An ordinance to establish a police department continuing professional training fund.
Move to adopt.
Motion by Mr. Godwin to adopt the ordinance. Discussion?
Mr. President, Ms. Davis.
Yes.
So we're just going to set up their own account as opposed to having the police department education under the general training and education fund.
Correct.
So it's just sliding it over.
Yeah, it was an advisory memo from the state auditor that we either create our own fund and they gave us the permission to do so, or we would have to track it separately if it was still within the general fund. And we discussed that. I feel that it's going to be better down the line for someone to look at it and go, okay, so anytime we receive monies from the state for their training, it will go directly into that fund. And then the chief will be able to look at that at a glance and know how much money he has to spend for his training.
Will that also be a budgeted fund going
Yes.
forward?
Yes.
So we will budget it separate from the other training and education fund?
That's correct.
So the sum of the two should equal the same as the one?
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Further discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Wellman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes.
All right, nothing under old business, anything under new business? Moving on, our council representative, outside committee, Council on Aging.
Okay. Okay, the Area Agency on Aging, just to remind everybody, it covers the following counties: Champaign, Clark, Dark Green, Logan, Miami, Montgomery, Preble, and Shelby counties. It's part of this agency is part of a National Aging Service Network established by the Older American Act in 1973. It's designed to perform leadership role in response to the needs of older adults. This agency meets in Dark County on a quarterly basis. It's the second Thursday of the month at the Birchwood Training Facility. It works with area senior care facilities as well as the Dark County Health Department and the Dark County Veterans Office. Some of their services are adult day services, Alzheimer's services, care coordination, caregiver respite services, home delivered meals, home repair, and Dark County residents and interested parties can get information by contacting the Catholic Social Services at Miami Valley at 800-300-2937. And just for an additional report, they also work with the Dark County Seniors, which is a newly formed senior citizens group that is developing outreach and educational program for the local seniors. They have daily programs and activities at Birchwood. The local senior care facilities provide speakers, encourages healthy living and fun activities. This local group, the Stark County Seniors, is also working to develop fundraisers for their own building and activity center. They meet in one room out at the Birchwood Center. All Dark County residents 55 years and older are encouraged to visit the senior group Monday through Friday. I stopped in there today and they were having game day and there were 2 tables of euchre and 1 table of mahjong and a whole countertop of sign-up sheets for senior citizens to participate in their activities. And I'm gonna pass 2 over that way. And this, just for your edification and education, is there, oh, I need one more.
That's all right, that's all right.
Did you get one?
No, that's good, that's good.
All right. Okay.
Sure.
So this is their December featured events, and you'll see that they're kind of busy. And so anybody 55 years or older, I encourage you to go out there and explore what they have going on. There's something going on Monday through Friday. And with that, I'm done. Thank
All
you.
right, well, thank you.
And Miss Jessica, this is for you.
Communications.
We received the monthly reports of October from the Income Tax Department and Transit Department and the 2025 risk assessment for transit from ODOT.
Okay, let's go down to council.
Rogers?
Yeah, I'm just going to use a blanket comment here. Thanks to all the city departments for all that they do and will be doing here in the recent, for the horse parade and so forth. So about all the departments, I think, is pretty close to having something to do with that. So thank everybody for doing that. And with that, I pass.
White?
First, thank everybody for being here tonight. Second, congratulations on the Auditor's Award. Congratulations on the Transit Award, or audit results, so be it. I think there was another one I missed in there. Anyway, Mr. Locker, thank you for the time you spent with me going through the water facilities last week. I appreciate that very much. We've got a lot of things ahead of us. We've got to make sure we stay in the game as we move forward from here. So, wish everybody a great Thanksgiving holiday, and with that, I'll pass.
Roman?
Thanks for everybody being here. Miss Christie, new member, but appreciate her being part of it. Thanks for all the comments. Greg, keeping things tracked so the public knows what's going on a little bit more. Thanks for everybody coming, Mr. Acker and Janet and Chief. Appreciate it, Matt. So that's all I got. I'll pass.
Ely?
Okay, I too just want to thank everybody for, we have some really good discussions. I think we need more discussions. I think we need to keep our ears open to what people are saying to us. Concerns are being raised in all areas. Just because it's wintertime and the homeless aren't here, they're still part of the community. So, and then we have our other areas of interest, concerns about, cats and parks, and we need to always be open to hear what we can do to help and assist. And with that, I pass.
Godwin?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Kim Davis and her group for getting that award. Pretty good, like Ryan said. And then another kudos to Rob for the street department and all of his crew that's doing the downtown. I think Saturday, once the horse parade gets here, that it's going to look pretty festive. I was in another city this weekend, and I think they had just some lights running from one pole to the other, and that was all they had. It's like, they got a lot to do to catch up with Rob. But then thanks to Lowe's for donating a couple things that they donated up by the Santa house. Looks really good up there. And, thanks for everybody for coming tonight. And then I'll pass.
Norris?
Yes, thanks everybody for coming, and we appreciate all the public's input. Like Dolores said, unless we hear it, we don't know about it, so, we appreciate whatever's brought before the council. Kim, congratulations to you and the group, that's fantastic. And to Katie Benji and Katie McCabe, and Transit, because when you see that low score, it's kind of a shocker when you read the report and think that, the lowest is the best there.
Like Dolph.
So.
In an audit world, Lois is.
Yeah, that's right, the other way. And since Matt hadn't been here for a while, but on the leaf pickup, I had a few citizens ask how, they've been doing a fantastic job, but is that going to go through next week and stop by Thanksgiving, or kind of an idea? Looks like
Yeah,
there's still some that haven't dropped in town, and
There is, and then the snow put us behind a couple days, but they'll keep going. Typically, we do take off Thanksgiving week just to give people an opportunity to rake and do some repairs and maintenance on the truck, and since it's a short week for everyone, but we'll go until every leaf's picked up, or it's frozen in the ground or covered in snow and we can't.
or it's plowed up with the
Yeah,
snow.
one or the other, and then we'll be back after that.
Okay, well, thank you. That'll clear it up for some of the
Yep.
citizens that had asked. Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to excuse the absences for the month of November.
All right. A motion by Mr. Norris to excuse the absences for the month of November. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Bowman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin?
Yes.
Norris?
Yes. With that, I will pass.
Thank you.
President Schmidt?
I just wanted to thank the folks that come up to speak tonight. We had some good discussion. That's always welcome. And I think some good ideas get kicked around that way, so we do appreciate that. Kim, congrats to your group, and thank you for what you do. We do appreciate it. So all of you and everyone out there, I hope you have a good, safe Thanksgiving next week, and with that, I will pass.
We're adjourned.
Motion by Mr. Rogers to adjourn. Discussion? Call the roll.
Rogers?
Yes.
White?
Yes.
Roman?
Yes.
Ely?
Yes.
Godwin? Yes. Norris?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.